This brief video is going to cover the functionality of the new app that's available for the Learning Solutions Conference and Expo 2012. The video that I'm going to show you is showing the functionality on the iPad app. However, your iPhone app and your Android device apps will work very similarly with basic functionality. The menu items are going to look a little bit different, but the functionality is still the same. So let's take a look at what it looks like. So when you launch the iPad app, you get this has a lot more real estate on the screen, can show you more things at once. Again, the functionality is basically the same. The layout of the iPad app, it has a live Twitter feed on the right-hand side, showing you all of the most recent tweets available through the back channel. Your main section right in the middle is about your scheduling. It's got, by default, it shows you the agenda for the current day. It also has an option for your particular schedule, and also what's on now. If you hit the what's on now option, it's going to show you what sessions are currently going on, beginning with the start of the conference on Wednesday. You can also access the agenda directly by hitting a particular date to see specific sections, and you can also search the agenda right within the app by clicking that search option. Underneath that, you have a section for speakers where you can scroll through and see information about all the different speakers who are available, who are going to be present at the conference. And if you wanted to see any details on any of them, you just click the speaker, brings up their bio in a pop-up window, as well as any particular sessions that they're doing. And if you click on the session, it gives you the details on the session. Great way to find information about the speakers and the sessions that they're doing. Your main navigation on the iPad app and your main navigation at the home screens of the phone apps contain the options that you see on the left-hand side here. Now, some of the options that you have here within the app are going to be publicly available, that anyone who downloads the app is going to have access to. Some of the functionality is limited to only those who are physically present at the conference and have registered at the conference. And I'll explain what each of those are. So the first one you see on the list here is attendees. That is only available for people who are present at the conference. So if you haven't already done so, when you access a section of the app that requires a login, you will be prompted to do so. And your login is going to be the email address that you use to register for the conference with a password of LSCON, L-S-C-O-N. And again, only people who are registered for the conference will have that access. So if you hit attendees, what it does is it brings up a list of all the attendees that are present on the conference. It's a great way to encourage networking, to help you contact other people. So for instance, if I scroll through this list and I find someone that I wanted to connect with, I find their name on the list, and I click on their name, and it brings up their profile. Now, a couple of things I want to point out here when you're looking at the profiles that are here. There's two settings here, and by default, everyone is set to have their email privacy settings and their phone settings as privacy on. If you wanted to have people have access to your email address or your phone number, you would need to go into the settings at the top here, upper right-hand corner after you've logged in. Close that window. Go into your settings. And you'll see here, display email and display phone on. By default, everyone will be allowed to send messages, which I'll discuss in just a second, but if you want your email address and phone to display, you just toggle those on. If not, you just leave them off. And then you would just save your profile. But going back to the attendees, there's also a great option if you wanted to contact somebody, even if they don't have their settings up. There's an option at the bottom here you'll see that says send a message. There is messaging available directly through the app. So if I wanted to contact somebody, I can hit send a message, and similar to an email, it just brings up a message that can go to that person. I would type in whatever message I necessarily want to send, and hit the send button, and that message will go to someone directly within the app. You'll see on the left-hand side in the navigation, one of the ones towards the bottom there is messaging. And just like an email address, you'd have an inbox and a sent items that you can track messages that you have gotten in and messages that you've sent directly through the app. A great feature of the app this year. Going back to the listing, next thing you see here is the map, which gives you the option of looking at the expo floor map. If you're at the conference, it's a great way to find vendors that you might want to connect with, and also a map of the resort that the conference is taking place on. And all of those are very easily accessible directly through the app. Next item on the list, also dealing with the expo, is the exhibitors. If you click on that, you'll get a full list of all the exhibitors that are available, that are present at the conference. And if you wanted to get any of their contact information, you just click on one of the options, one of the ones on the list. It gives you the details of the vendor, their web address, and what they do. Great way to stay connected with exhibitors that are at the conference. Some general information about the conference is available through InfoBooth. You can get general information and frequently asked questions in the general information section. You can also get information about how to participate in the back channel through the back channel section, how to participate in how to access the Hashcaster option, which is back again, came first in DevLearn, back again for Learning Solutions. Very popular option there, so you can check details on those there. And also within the info booth, you can get information about MapDeck, a great new addition for Learning Solutions this year that enables you to access the PowerPoint presentations of many of the presentations that have gone on, access them, choose specific slides or entire decks, combine them into a new deck that you can use, bring back to the office to share the learning that you had at the conference. So great new option. I definitely recommend checking that out. Underneath that, you see that there's an option for game. That's only available to conference attendees, but there is an integrated game within the app that you get scoring within the app based on activities that you take care of, that you participate in. Checking into particular sessions, competing with each other on the daily leaderboard, accumulating points. There will be prizes and such, and you can get more information at the conference there. Again, that's only for conference attendees. The next one is the messaging option that I spoke of earlier. You'll also have options integrated into the app for all the major social media options. If you click on YouTube, it will bring up the eLearning Guild YouTube channel, which has a number of videos there, and videos that they take at the Learning Solutions Conference will be available through that page as well. And the next option there is for the LinkedIn page. It gives you full access to the complete LinkedIn site. So all you would do is log in as you normally would on the website, and then you can do post to groups, post status updates directly through the app, as well as the main Twitter feed on the right hand side, which once you log into it, if you wanted to do a tweet, it'll just ask you to log in. You can tweet directly from the app, you can update your LinkedIn status, you can access YouTube as well. So all the major social media options that you might want to participate in at the conference, you can do directly through the app. And the last section here, says My Notes. And My Notes is great because once you're in a session, there's no notes currently there, but let's say I was in one of these sessions that are currently listed in the agenda here. If I'm in the session and the speaker says something that's interesting, I want to remember, make a note. Anytime you're in a session, you're looking at one of these sessions that are here, you'll see in the upper right hand corner there are two buttons. The button there that looks like a piece of paper is your note option, and if you click on that, it gives you the option of My Notes. There's currently no notes made from the session, but if I make a note, click this plus button, I can generate any particular note that I want. And I just type in whatever the note happens to be. Hit the Done button, and it now adds that note associated with the session. And if I was in another session later in the day, and I wanted to add a note from that particular session, I do that. And again, just say I was just doing some sort of note. What's great about that is it saves all these notes within the app. And then once I'm done with the conference, I can go into this My Notes section, and you'll see in the upper right-hand corner that there is an envelope. If I click on that, it's going to create an email that takes all the notes that I created in the conference, puts it into an email from myself, and just enables me now that I can just go in and send that either to myself, to my boss, a general report, all the notes that I sent, kind of a conference recap that I can just email directly through myself, straight within the app. It's an excellent option added this year. You also have a couple of other options here. There's a gallery of pictures that people are taking. You can submit pictures to the gallery directly through your iPad or your iPhone. You see in the upper right hand corner that there's a picture there. It goes right to your camera, and you can submit it to the gallery for inclusion. Anyone who does that, you can access the pictures directly through the gallery. So there are a lot of different options. As usual, you can, one of the most useful methods of the app, you can build your schedule in here. So if I was logged in, which I am at this point on the app, I could say, okay, I want to attend this session, and I can just hit the plus button. It asks if you want to add this to your schedule. You say okay. And now when I go in and I say what's my schedule, it's bringing up anything that I've scheduled myself to go to. Great thing to do before the conference on the plane or at any time ahead of the conference, so that you have a plan of what sessions you want to hit. It gives you an idea and enables you to do it right into the app. And of course, if you wanted to take something off of your agenda, once you go into it, you just hit the minus sign. It says, do you want to remove it from your schedule? You say OK. So as you can see, similar to the upgrade they made with the DevLearn app last year, the Learning Solutions app has taken it to a new level this year, really adding to the conference experience.